Hello everybody, it's TechStack here. Back working on the mod. Got the test build server set up here. Got the mod set up here. And on the mod one, we can see that I did fix the rendering issue that we were having last night. So the rendering issue was a couple things. One being that I did not translate it to the location of the entity. So that meant it was keeping it at 000, even though it was somewhere else in the world. Also, the size of it was ridiculously big. It was like 32 by 32 blocks, right? So that was a problem. And then you can just see what they just did here this morning. Hey, Tinkerbell. They went and attacked the target. So that was the very first test of them attacking the target. I made the code changes and never ran the game to see if it would work. So that's good news. You can also see that it did not drop any XP orbs because I made it so that these entities, including the minions, don't drop XP, they don't drop loot. I'm doing that mainly for lag reasons, and also there's really no use for it in the game we're creating. Now, what we did also see, though, summon the RTS target entity. When he's punched, he can move. And that's definitely something we don't want to have happen. So we want to disable all movement for this guy. Not quite sure how to achieve that yet, but we'll figure it out. So on the build server where Sarified is here, this is the stable, right?
Yep. That's the plan. I was just about to spawn a horse and try and ride it.
Cool. I would say see if you can get on this and get off of it if it's too tall or something. Because I found, like, even though my guys are really appear short, they still kind of need a bigger area to get out. Like, they need it too tall to jump up onto. Oh, cool. And you go up top. See, this might be a bit of a refuge for a player having something like this. Like, if they get what's the word? Attacked, they might be able to run up here, shoot from the window or whatever. Here you go. Oh, it's the horse eating. Good grief. Thought there was a pig in there. Why are you trying to tame him?
How do you tame horses now?
I thought it was riding them. Till he loves you. You're getting stink particles when you come off, so it's doing something. There you go. You even got an achievement for that. Cool. Oh, you can go in and out there too.
Yeah, I can go through the window. But your guys should definitely be able to get through this.
Cool.
I think they should also be on mini horses, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, if we have minions riding them, it makes sense. And I think we talked about we'll probably have to make it its own entity altogether. So it'll be one instead of two. So if I had to, I can bounding box smaller if we had to.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. You can change the hitbox for it.
Yep. Cool. I think that works for the stable then. said you changed this too? Yeah, baby horses. What we're talking about, having them ride if we do minions. So that's 12, 13 wide. Is 13 this way? Cool. Call them ponies. Turn the sounds down a bit. It's kind of loud. So you scanned all of these now, right? There's actual files on the server if I looked.
Yeah, there should be, and there should be 2 of the sawmills. There should be a wood 1, or there should be a wood red 2 and a wood 2 red 2. So the original one was Fieries, and I just scanned that one too.
Gotcha. So you got both versions, okay.
Yep.
Hey, Spiderman. What's new? We were just looking at the buildings that Starfied did. Stables here. And we got the target entity actually rendering as well. So I was trying to think through how this target entity should link up to the other thing. There you go. To the block, right? If the block should keep a reference to the entity, or the entity should keep a reference to the block, and like push or pull that it's taking damage kind of thing. I'm not sure which one's better.
What was the question again?
Wasn't really a question. I was just saying I'm not sure which way to do it.
Oh, what was the question? Kind of statement.
How the entities should interact with the block. So the target entities that make up the health of this building need to talk to the block that actually spawns the mobs and controls everything to say, I've taken damage. And I don't know if it should be a push or a pull yet. I'm leaning towards the block should pull the entities. So it should ask them what their health is every time or whatever.
Yeah, I think that. I think the unique block for each structure type should be like the master, and then the entities, the targets, should all be just slaves that just have a health, and they can tell it to you if you ask for them.
Yeah, and then I guess if those entities were to die for whatever reason, it should still work. Yeah, the structure gets the update either way if it asks for it, because it just would say, hey, entity number 4, what's your health? And when it can't find any number 4, it assumes it's 0. Maybe the main block checks for each block is alive, and if so, and each HP block can die. You have to go. Yes, that's the idea, Freeman. G Freem. So you and the minions will try and kill these. They won't actually be blocks, but they'll look like blocks. And once this dies, the block that runs this whole building will know. And once it gets far enough along, it'll change out what's here to a different state, one that shows damage being taken. Alright, now let's go back to code some more. I'm not sure what yet because I'm been away from it for a bit today. But in here, let's see what we got for this. So that'll be the target block itself. It'll be different colors based on the team it's on, but it's not on a team right now, so it just defaults to yellow. Okay, so it moving is a bad thing. Let's see if we can figure out how that happens.
Hey, it's a slime.
It wasn't jumping on its own though. It was being hit by the guys.
Oh,
But it kind of looked like a slime doing that, didn't it?
yes. I did sling one too many times.
Unleash speed. No. Unleash. Gotta find the right method that's doing movement or whatever, and then just zero that out. Eagle, I think your mic's humming.
What?
Your mic is humming. Sorry, Zoom.
Is that any better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, sorry.
You're fine. I'm just letting you know so you can switch it. Spooderman, just do exclamation point extension. So it is not colliding. Nope. It's aggressive. Isn't there a no AI setting that locks mobs in place, CZ?
Yeah, it's an MBT tag. Or I guess MBT
Can
data.
you still punch them around though?
Yeah, like you can spawn an armor stand with no AI or a zombie with no AI, and you can still.
Moving. Okay.
I don't know if they do damage, but I think unless you give it the invulnerable tag, you still do damage to it.
Well, I'm fine with him being taking damage, but does he like have knockback when you hit him?
Yeah, it
Depending
still
on how you
has
set it up.
it still has the same knockback. I don't know how you're gonna lock it into place like a shulker, but I would look at the shulker methods first.
That's true. That'll work as long as it's inheriting from the same thing, which it's not, but I think both of these parents are the same. Like their grandparents are the same. Whatever. So it'd be under, not this stuff, but entity. Passive? Or I don't know where shulkers are. I know they were under that golem thing, but that's not quite the same monster. Shulker.
So is Gazer excited?
I don't know, I haven't talked to him. Still. I haven't been on at
I
the
thought you
same time.
talked to him on Discord.
No.
Oh.
Just that text message, the one message he sent. Attacked block POS. Attached block POS. Okay.
So what is Spooderman's kind of question?
This might be it. Move. Let's see if we can override move and see what it does.
So what other structures do we need?
I think we're kind of done for now.
Okay.
Do you have a town hall that's an actual town hall, or just the one that's the? Oh wow. Or just the village building. So.
No, just the village one. I mean,
Okay.
it's all kind of temporary for now, right?
Yeah.
There just wasn't one that would work as a stable, and then I kind of went overboard with the stable. So we could build a town hall if we want.
Yeah, I think the footprint of their size is the thing that I would want to get somewhat set. I mean, we can change it, but that's going to be like something I'm going to have to code into it to say, check this area if it's valid, kind of thing. Plus, we want it in the tooltip and all this junk. So that's the one thing that if we could figure that out now, it'd be awesome, so that we don't have to change it later in the code. But the actual structures moving blocks around within that volume shouldn't have any impact on the code at all. It's just download the latest scan file. Hopefully that made sense.
So you're pretty much saying you want the buildings roughly all the same number.
No, I want them to be whatever we think their final size would be. They can each be different sizes. That's fine. But if the heck? I got 2 worlds going? How did I manage that? If they're...
One's on the server?
No, I had 2's like dev worlds going.
Oh.
So it's like if the town hall's 5 now and it grows to 14 later, I have to go change something in the code to do that, I think. Not that it's super hard, it's just, it's very, very easy if we don't do that.
Well, it's easy to mess up at the same time.
Yes. Because there'd be nothing that says, hey, this is the wrong size compared to what it actually is. It would just work. Hey, he doesn't move.
I was thinking more of later on, once you start building it.
So I start building it.
It's like you put it right next to another structure. And going, oh, this should be fit great right next to these 2 structures or something. And when you start upgrading it, it starts eating away area.
Oh, for upgrades, yeah, that would make sense, though we don't want it to change. Okay, those work.
Yeah.
Well, we're not talking about upgrades just yet. We're just trying to get them there.
And from somebody playing this in survival and doing something that causes it to have, overlap or whatever if it grows in size, I don't see that as a problem at all, because this is never intended to be a survival thing. Yeah, I need to get somewhere these guys won't kill it before I get a chance to. I want to make sure it can take all types of damage without moving. Yeah, cool. What about explosions, TNT?
Knockback?
I will try that too. I wonder if gravity is going to apply to it when it takes out the floor here. Well, it died, so there's that. Gravity does not apply to it. Do we want gravity to apply to it so it's easier to get? I'm leaning towards no.
I think no. I think it needs to always stay in the same spot. What I'm wondering is, do you want TNT to actually destroy the buildings?
Let's say if you have a suicide bomb or like a creeper, you kind of do.
But the state of the building that's built is not what the health of the building is.
Yeah, so actual
could be
damage to the
confusing.
blocks doesn't affect the health of the building.
Yeah, it could be confusing during play if your building's been bombed and it looks like it's ruined, but actually it has taken damage.
Well, can we set it up so it's like the new Iron Golem kind of technique in 17? Where you can see damage as you play with it?
That's what we were trying to do.
Okay.
So
Well,
once
I'm sorry, I
these,
haven't caught up on the last streams.
no, you're fine. Once these target blocks that I'm playing with right now take enough damage or die, they're added up. Their collective health is added up for the building's health, and once it drops below 50%, we're gonna basically load a different structure file in, so it looks like it's half damaged. So that's where CZ's saying.
I've had enough fire today.
That's why CZ. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was just seeing if they take fire damage. It doesn't look like they do.
Just a slight joke.
Is that like a locked up wheel caught fire or something, or what?
Like, yeah, something like that.
Okay.
The wheel locked up, or the tarp caught on fire. I don't. It ruined the hay wagon frame, so that's gonna be quite a bit.
It got so hot at Bennett.
No, it popped all the tires, and those tires are getting hard to find.
Oh.
And all the bearings need to be replaced now, and all the bushing, and the list goes on.
What? These guys are gonna be a pain in the butt. We're gonna have to turn off mob spawning or something.
Well, you could technically still have it as a wandering trader.
Yeah, but I don't want people to be able to trade with him.
Well, what I'm saying is, our trade's inside of it.
Maybe.
Like, I'll trade you wood for stone or something, or sheep for wood.
Let's see. So we can stop movement, but I can't stand on the block, and I think that's an important thing that we wanted to take from the shulker, is that it has a collision box, basically. Where that's at, I don't know. How do you use the factory in your machine mod? You talking about the factory arm? The orange thing?
Need to be 2 spaces from the
Assembly table.
assembly table.
Yep. And it needs to be powered by a generator that's touching the factory arm. And that generator needs fuel. Lots of things. Peak tick. You know. Oh, that's when he pops his head out. Okay. Apply entity collisions.
Hey, Spooderman, got a question for you. By chance, where'd you find tech at? Like, a friend told you about the mod, or YouTube showed up one day saying, hey, watch this?
He was here yesterday, I know that.
Okay.
He wasn't in Discord. I don't think he knew about the machinery mod. I told him, I think. Okay, it doesn't look like I can push this thing, which is good. And I kind of get pushed out of it, which is okay, but I don't even want that. I want it to be like a shulker box. Where... First off, he's aligned with a block, no matter where I spawn him. Yeah. So that'd be one thing. We want to make his position be an integer base, or center of a block, I guess. So just being live was enough. Awesome. Come on, die, guys. Jeez. Can we light you on fire? No.
Thank you.
Okay. So how would I make them go to a specific location that's centered in a block? Can we, in the move of the target entity, force it to be the spot, I guess? So
I think I've partly mastered the sling.
it's better than jump, isn't it? Once you get it.
Yes. And doesn't bug tech as much where I enter 20-some jumps.
Whatever could you mean by that?
I don't know.
Let's just do it in tick. That'll work. Boop. Tick. Still call super sure. This dot position X. With an integer. But we're gonna add then after we cast it to an integer to the point plus 0.5f. Same for z. And y we won't mess with because we always want it to be on the block. So that, yeah, terminate. Jeez, stop asking me every 2 seconds. The y we want to be just the whole value, not 0.5 after it. Cool. Let's run that. Ooh, what's this, Susie?
Town hall.
Cool.
That was weird.
So Eagle, did you see any of the stream yesterday? I can't remember.
No.
Okay, I'll show you something in a minute.
I was out trying to play with fire. Or with that. Trying to stay warm.
Trying to stay warm? No wonder there was a fire.
I was out camping.
Oh. Yeah, I bet you were trying to stay warm. It was pretty chilly this weekend.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so how this is going to work is I can actually remove these items, can't I? That's interesting. The town center builder item here has the wrong name right now, because right now I've got this item basically set up to be the garrison or the barracks. We'll probably end up naming it when I'm all done. So if I just click on the ground, it spawns in the whole structure and my garrison block, sets the garrison block to my team, and sets a rally point for that garrison block so the guys walk out the front door to exactly where I click. Yeah, I can't remember why I didn't want to go with barracks originally, CZ. I don't know, but I didn't, and barracks makes more sense.
Why is there an orange block?
So that represents where we're going to put these entity blocks, these targets.
Okay.
So that'll be the block that you have to destroy, or the entity you have to kill for this thing to take damage, basically. we wanted it to be somewhere that these guys can get to.
Well, wouldn't you need about 4 of those for the building then?
That's up for change right now.
So you're saying yes. Okay.
I don't know. Every building will have exactly 4, but
Well, I'm saying if you could stick all of those corners on the inside versus the outside of the buildings and have a more fair advantage over it.
those blocks you won't have as a player. You won't have a choice where they are. They will be where they are, predetermined by the structures we're building on that other server. So you don't pick that that's the spot for it. That makes sense. Maybe it doesn't.
Okay, so you're saying the XP health of the building is random somewhere in the building
No,
and on one of the corners.
it'll be a set spot. So what were you saying is bad about that? 'Cause maybe I didn't understand what you were saying.
Okay. If you make 4 of those buildings and rotate them 90 degrees from each other, all of them are on the inside. But as soon as you take all of those buildings and do a 180, so now all the health are facing the outside of the buildings, it's more open.
Yes. My preference is that we have more than one spot for these blocks. And also, what we were talking about when we came up with this design was, say, from here to wherever the top of this thing is, right, is the bounding box of this structure. But what I think we need to have is this structure should require another block on both sides to be open as well. So while this might be a 7x7 structure, it needs to look for or have a clearing of an 8x8 to be built. Or I guess a 9x9, right?
9.
Well, yeah. So it makes it very hard to cheat, I guess. That's what I'm looking for. Because I thought the same thing, right? Because what's going to stop somebody from just coming in and going, oh, I'm going to make a too wide trench here, be it through their own means, or they just build it next to a ravine, they blow up a demolition guy, or whatever it is, right? If they can get this to be too wide, melee units can't come up and hit that thing then.
Yeah.
Because they're not tall enough to jump up and hit it. So there's things like that we need to try and combat. I think I'm going to put the player in adventure mode so they can't break blocks on their own.
I had a simple thought even.
What's that?
Make it 90 degrees from the other side, so then it's rotational fair.
Oh, yeah.
Then on top of that, have it so the building has, I know you're not going to like this, but it has 2 different healths.
2 different healths.
Yes. So you can only go to like one side of the building and damage it so much. Then you have to go to the other side
Right.
to finish it off.
That's what we're thinking. So on the build server here, like this, there's these two pink wolves represent the 2 pink wolves represent where the health blocks, the target blocks will be. So you'd have to kill this one and this one to kill this whole thing.
Okay.
But also remember, if you were to do something, let me go over here, like what you're close to what you're saying, and there's no checks here, so I'll be able to do pretty cheaty stuff with this. If I were to do that and then say, no, that, I'm starting to cut off the other one, so I wouldn't have been able to do that by 1. But also, if I do this one, just as close, and this one just as close, now I'm starting to limit how my guys can get out of here, right? They still need to path out, because wherever your door is their exit. So they need access to this themselves. And this is going to get a lot of guys real quick here if I don't kill these. Well, Spooderman, welcome to modded Minecraft. We've converted him.
Now you're Venom. If I think I remember my Marvel.
Get rid of most of these guys. So yeah, I think there'll be enough, because you want to get your guys out of this. That means the enemy can get in, right?
Yeah.
At least for the garrisons and stuff like that, or the barracks. I need to stop calling them garrisons. The mine sites, the wood camp, and stuff like that, you might be able to be a little bit more cheaty about it. I don't know. But also, like, so CZ's working on this one, the town center. By having these pink ones on each side, it gives you a little bit more time as the defender to try and ward off the attack, because they have to run around the entire building, right, to do it. So it'll be a challenge for people
To push in all directions to eliminate.
Yeah. Now CZ, with this, I like the way it's looking, but what I'm going to say is, with these blocks being outside of its bounds, that means we'll need a bigger structure. I'm okay with that, but just keep that in mind, that you'll need to scan clear out to here.
The structure bound is the iron platform.
Yep. So those blocks, like if this were Team Green, would just be a green block here.
Yeah. I'm accepting that the blocks may not look good for the first few versions of the mod.
Okay.
And I'm not incorporating them as part of the actual building aesthetic. I'm just putting them there so that they're mechanically functional.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if we want to change that in the future, we can always just create new templates.
And I am for having these not be just a solid texture of color. They can be shaded, or maybe we'll put like a
banners,
bullseye, like a square bullseye on them or something, right? So that they make sense that it's a target, right? So banners, you're asking about banners. These are the banners for each of the teams that Susie came up with. And each team will have their own structure with their own banner on it. Yes, I know.
That CZ stole from the internet.
Just take all the credit. You made it, so take the credit. They look wonderful, ZZ.
Thank you. It took me hours.
Yes. You want to explain that one, Zach?
So CZ, Tinkerbell wants another color added to the game. Another team. Pink.
I mean, which color do you want to take out? Right now you only have 4 teams, right?
Yeah. I did 4 because I highly doubt that us will ever have more than 4.
Yeah, I don't think you'll need more than 4, but you could take out yellow for pink or something. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but then I have to texture stuff. I need somebody that's good at textures. So we can get some cool looking minions that aren't all the same minion. Right, so the archers have, like, I don't know, archer looking texture.
The greedy answer is Fusion. He doesn't mind doing it real quick.
Fusion? Fusion does textures?
Fusion,
do you mean
or
over 9,000 nukes? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
So this is 90% functional. I need to get the I can walk on it like a block working. So I'm not sure how that happens. The shulker should be the answer, so let's look. Hey David, Del Rio, gosh, can talk, I promise. The wellhead was an idea I had that I added, and then we ended up not making functional all the way. So, nothing.
It may come back later. Don't know yet.
I get so caught up in the meter, thinking of drowning in his blue eyes. I'm losing sight 'cause I am
Cool, David.
I'm so deep down.
They're working good for you?
And it's not a lie. I can hide
Awesome.
what this is.
Awesome. So, we're working on a different mod that I want to create right at the moment. So if you're familiar with RTS, a real-time strategy game, that's what we're trying to add into Minecraft. We haven't given up on the machinery mod, just taking a break from it for a bit.
Trying to figure out new stuff that we can actually update it to 114.
Having done this in 114, it's going to be well before we get that mod in 114. It's not straightforward.
Actually convince them.
Where's the call hierarchy on this? Does it get called by this shulker entity in its tick? Its bounding box is set there. What? Oh, right, because it has to move with the world. Okay. Hey, David, thank you for the subscription. Awesome. So what? We're like 30-some, 31, 32 away
Hang on.
from our goal now?
7.
That deserves some stars. So David, if you haven't noticed, there's little avatars of all the people in the chat walking around at the bottom of the screen there, and you can do commands to get those stars. As I distracted Eagle from what he was going to go look up. So he typed slaying a bunch.
Yep.
So it's a bit of an interactive game while we're streaming. Okay, so we need to get a bounding box. We need to set that bounding box in tick, it looks like, and go from there. That's exactly what I want to do right there. Oh my gosh! Yeah, might need to disable the sounds when we put that many stars in the ground. There we go, so that should set the bounding box. We don't care about the direction, right? What's that about?
Damn, Spooderman did jumps and did better.
Well, it's timing too, right?
Yeah.
Where am I going here? So this. Oh, let me see. That is correct. That is a correctly sized bounding box. But this set bounding box, what does it take? Just the bounding box. So, the heck? Why is this so complicated? Where's that other parenthesis? Right there. And then it gets expanded? Yeah, we don't need to do that part. Pretty sure.
78. 780.
I have 780 now? Awesome. Only 20 more.
Yeah, I don't know why your bell's not.
Huh?
Like, Tinkerbell and I have the bell icon lit up or activated, and it's not telling us when you start in that, so.
Really?
Yeah.
That's annoying. That's YouTube for you.
Because we usually find out on Discord before we find anything else.
Oh.
But you posted Discord first, so.
It is possible that I want to say this. You can have the bell lit up on someone, but it's set in such a way that it's not everything. You know how like subscriptions, like it would always tell you when your subscriptions worked. When someone's when you subscribe, so it would tell you when everyone's uploaded. So then they added the bell and didn't tell you when the subscriptions worked, right? Then the bell would always tell you. But they modified the bell now to have like 3 different states: never notify you, sometimes notify you, and always notify you.
Yeah.
And the default isn't always notify you when you click the thing, so you have to go in and change it. It's dumb. They keep taking away people's ability to know when someone's doing something on YouTube.
Yeah. Like, I understand the settings aspect, but keep it on all until they go in and change it.
Or somehow let someone know that that's what's going on.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, why would they not tell people, hey, by the way, we know that you're trying to subscribe to this person, but we've modified this to so that just the first time kind of thing. And then after that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so we need to get the bounding box, I guess, as well.
Oh yes, like and subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe now.
No, do that. Oh, and share to your friends. Yes.
Okay, so this basically also is what we're after. Let's see if it works for us. Why is it not telling? Okay, I didn't save. Yep, that's what I thought. It's going to terminate. So we added another method, so it can't do that. Override, save. Assembly table's the table we keep talking about with the factory arm and all that. It's used to make the advanced machines, we'll call it that. So all of the ores from the Bleak Dimension, their recipes are pretty much always used in the assembly table. It's not a 100% thing, but pretty close to it.
I think everything's in the assembly table except for the XP collect.
And I think the Bleak Glass stuff. That's why I was saying I think it's everything, but not quite everything.
Yeah.
It's close.
Well,
Oh,
Bleak
awesome.
Glass, you don't need the assembly table. That's the last one.
Yeah, but like
Before Minecraft made theirs.
you get the yeah, I know. How am I gonna say this? You take the crystals, you grind the crystals up, you mix it with sand, and that's not in the table either. Do that. Okay, so I still can't climb with this. Can't trigger walking. What's that mean? Returns if this entity triggers walk on. Okay, I don't care about that.
Apparently you have good music playing.
I hear Tinkerbell in the background. I take it she likes it.
Yeah.
Collision border size. Okay. Collision bounding box. Do we have that one? No, I don't think we do. We used to make boats solid. This is it. It's gotta be. Override.
Still looks weird.
Are you wearing off? What's the error? In my resource pack, the player head is my skin's head. So the head on the doorway of the workshop is my head. You might just be lucky. If you're talking about in the mod, those heads on the workshops are random from a list of TS Craft members. And one of the guys kind of has one that looks like a spider.
Yes.
Whoever's name is on the sign is whose it is. Sorry, you said something?
Yeah, it's really hard to find text.
Probably.
But somehow we found it. Sorry.
There's
Tinkerbell found it.
There's like 45 or 50 of us or something. It's a pretty big number, and you know.
That's not even including doubles.
Doubles.
Yeah, the chances of you might finding a double.
Oh yeah, the same guy. Yeah.
Same guy twice.
Awesome. I can walk. I can't walk into it anymore. I can walk on top of it. It behaves like a block now. Oh, it could be. Didn't you say you're not playing on online mode? Like you're not logging into Minecraft? That could be why. You probably can't download the player skins or something. Summon TS RTS. Okay, so what else is there? I'm gonna try pushing a piston or an block into it, just so it happens, but I don't think that's gonna happen in our game at all, because redstone really won't be a thing for it, because you can't get pistons and all that. Okay, I'm okay with that. It takes damage. It would suffocate eventually.
Yeah, easy way to kill everybody off.
What is the feed trough? It's used to feed animals. So if you put weed in it, it'll feed the cows in the area for you automatically. So you need 2 cows, but
8 by 8, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it's either 8 by 8 or 6 by 16. Or yeah, I can't remember if the 8's a radius or a whatever the other thing is. Starts with a D. I can't think of it. Diameter.
Yeah, I was going to say dimension that.
Yeah, I don't. Other than a better texture, what's it need, CZ? This target block. It takes explosion damage. It takes arrow damage. It takes, you know, minion damage. The minions can attack it.
Maybe able to see its health.
Uh.
So you can see one of the sides of the building is at 70%, and the other ones are at 100.
He's not gonna attack it, is it? You jerk. Because you're both on the same team. Oh, he is attacking it. Okay. Why is he going so slow about it, though?
Does he have a weapon?
Oh, no, he doesn't have a weapon, but he should still attack. That stinks. I just crashed and probably ruined that world. Because of the arrow trying to go through that guy, and he's not on a team. Yo. If get team is not null, now you can restart. CZ, we need to get Aragorn in here too to help you make different races of them or whatever for the different teams.
Do you want Minas Tirith recreated in Minecraft? Because that's how you get Minas Tirith recreated in Minecraft.
I'm okay with Minas Tirith being created in Minecraft again.
You don't want to respawn that?
Might be a little bigger than 32 by 32 though.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna keep using these stripped oak planks, but for the like starting town hall, which side looks better with the texture? Because it depends on how
the
you
direction.
orient them. Yeah,
Just
I can also do.
Slight
that.
idea on top of that. We could also change the wood types to the team.
Yeah, we're talking about potentially even making different, what's the word? Like Japanese or Roman or whatever, one for each team. Potentially. So CZ, I'm not sure if I noticed what the difference is between this bottom right one and this left bottom one. Aren't they the same
You don't
direction?
see a difference between the left side and the right side?
No, the bottom piece.
The bottom pieces are the same.
Oh, I thought you said that they were different over there.
I can do.
Oh,
that.
the ending for it. I got you.
Well,
They line up.
I want the left and the right need to look the same. And for now, I'm using these stripped oaks, so I can make them horizontal on the left or vertical on the right, or I can make them vertical ending in a horizontal.
Ooh,
I don't like the vertical by itself as much.
Okay.
I am favoring this side a little bit because it looks more like a log house or siding. Vertical planks usually aren't used on the X side or outside of a building.
That's right. Yeah, but I like that too. We'll go with that now. I'm like 50% sure I'm just gonna change all of these to a white color anyway. So
There you go. Yeah, because like think siding, right? Rainfall would naturally go down the horizontal side, nice, but if it was vertical, it would seep in between the cracks or whatever. Because you know, there's rainfall in Minecraft that actually goes into the buildings, and that makes sense.
What?
That didn't make any sense.
A little bit. Something to think about. It's like, when does Minecraft allow water to go inside of the building?
That was sarcasm, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm playing Farming Simulator, and that does happen.
Really? You have leaks in your
Yes.
buildings? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Okay.
It's like you walk into a building, all of a sudden, it's like, I thought I was going to get out of the rain. No, it's just downpouring inside the building. Because their AI system's messed up on buildings.
Oh, okay. So it's not an on purpose thing where it goes in.
No.
Okay. I thought you were.
No, they just... No. They have the same issue with their equipment. It's like, come on.
It would be really hard to not let it rain through it, though. Mine probably do it in Minecraft too. If you're in the machine with the roof over you, it's gonna rain in your face probably.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to tell as well
Yeah.
with that.
What was I trying to do? I was trying to get this guy to attack. Let's do an archery range, sure, see if they attack it. Why am I on blue now? What the heck? That's wrong. Oh, it says blue. Whatever, and he spawns a red guy. Nice. Okay, these guys' aim sucks, but, you know. We gotta lower that aim or something, or get him to walk further back.
Eventually get it.
The heck? These guys are still spawning.
Oh,
Where's this mystery block at?
I don't know. It's
Look.
fine, I guess.
Break you. Are you still there? No.
Oh. That was weird.
Okay, so if we summon one of those in that. So if I do summon TS RTS, we got break the block first, don't we? Shoot. Let's put a block in there that's not going to break it or kill it. Like a pressure plate. Okay. So now I can look at that. Summon TS RTS. Target entity, and we're going to summon it at the coordinates I'm looking at. A lot of my minions are just sharpshooters. They are all so precisely hitting that. I mean, look at them. They're like Robin Hooding each other's arrows, but...
Perfect aim. Nice tight grouping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're sharpshooters. They're just too high. They're aiming for the head instead of the body. Every once in a while, one will actually hit, which is interesting, but...
So do we have assigned goals? Like, don't worry about dying. Just continually shoot the building or something?
They have the Minecraft style of AI, which basically gives you a set goal with a priority. So their first priority is going to be attack a player. Their second priority is going to be attack other minions, and their third priority is to attack a building target block. So I might change that over time, but that's how it is for now. As we play and play test, it might become more obvious that they should target the other entities first before they target players or something like that. I don't know. I just figured having a player first gives... It's like more damaging and keeps the player kind of out of the combat a little bit. Gives him a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to figure out why they're attacking so crappily. I thought we set their attack somehow to be more precise, but it's too high.
Oh, it's precise.
I guess. So it's shooting. The target's bounding box minimum Y plus its target, the target's get eye height divided by 3. Minus the abstract arrow entity's Y position. An abstract arrow entity is at created there. Which creates an arrow there. But it doesn't have a position. Yeah. If you go straight down, you can land. If you're moving forward into a block, it will crash and blow up. I need to understand the math of what they're trying to do is this delta 3 parameter. It's taking the distance to the x squared and distance z squared is delta 3. And square rooting it. So that's the total distance it's got to travel. And that distance is multiplied by 0.2f
Equals.
plus its original starting y position. Okay.
The joke.
That's so it can drop enough. I understand that, but what's that third 1.6 parameter? Velocity. Okay. And that becomes its vector that it's shooting along. So it has too much. Let's try 1.15 instead and see what that does to it. What's for dinner? Wow, that might have worked.
Somebody's getting food for us all?
Let's see if we take those out and spawn it there.
Yeah, where's Reaper at? We need Charo.
Reaper's hiding because you're here, I'm sure.
Oh.
I don't know why, but... Did he ever tell you why?
No.
Okay, now we've made it so they don't shoot far enough. Dang it.
Well, don't we have to change what they're looking at or shooting at?
Huh? What do you mean?
Like a skeleton will always kind of aim for your head.
Yeah.
But what they hit is varied.
And they're looking at the target's height
Yeah.
to... Well, maybe the target's height's wrong on this block. Let's try that. So get height. Let's just set this. And we'll go like this. And that should give us a breakpoint. Okay. No. And our height was what?
It almost needs to be one quarter of the amount of whatever the other one. Gold.
So it's sitting at 56. No, it's sitting at... Yes, it's sitting at 56, because I'm on 56. Okay, so that's right. 56 plus 1. Well, it's 1 divided by 3. So 56.333 minus whatever this is set to. Watch. Which was 56.83. That's the delta in height that it's got to travel. Okay. So he's actually shooting down, basically, is what that means. Right, because 56 plus 0.333. The D1 should be what? Yeah, it's a negative value, so he's trying to aim down. Because our minion's a little taller, it thinks. Or at least the spot where his arrow comes from is. Let me know. Now watch. We want to... It is an arrow entity. Takes the living entity, creates an arrow. The shooter. Okay, so it takes our Y position plus our I height minus 0.1. Which makes sense, because that's why it's 0.83, even though our I height is 0.93. Okay. I don't have any of these guys, do I? There we go. So their I is right on where it should be, too. So this has to be some type of arcing calculation or trajectory calculation that Mojang did originally to figure out what it should be. It's taking the distance it needs to travel plus its starting height of the arrow, and the distance it needs to travel is multiplied by 0.2.
Man, this is sounding like some really old code.
Well, we're using what Minecraft uses to shoot an arrow too, right? So that we got something similar.
Well, I'm saying this sounds like a really old code that hasn't moved a whole bunch over the years.
And something like that probably wouldn't have to be changed, because once you get it working. I have a feeling if my guy was a full height character, it'd be fine. So what if it was 1 or 0.19 instead? Let's just try that. I'm not seeing anything that's obvious to me what's wrong, other than potentially this value that it's multiplying the distance by, so that it's basically the offset of how much higher he shoots. Some of them are hitting, but most of them are shooting past. Let's just put it on a cow. And select our guys. Boop. 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 And get a simple sample. There we go. They're definitely shooting too short. Some of that could be they're not naturally going to shoot that far, but let's try it with 0.2 instead and see if they continue to shoot short. I save? I did. Oop. No, they don't shoot short. They're missing because he's moving, but that's a different story. Just not getting why they're off so bad. Let's see. We already figured out the eye height, right? It's 1. That's not right. So our target entity see if we can go into that piece of code. Step into. It's getting the height. Okay. So get height is set in when we register it. Oh wait, that's still right. Our y variable. That's our y variable there. Where else is it used? So it's creating a vector that's normalized and adding to that vector a random integer multiplied by 0.075, which is also multiplied by inaccuracy, and then scaling it by the original velocity. Okay. That's all okay. The inaccuracy, I think we figured out, needed to be 0. Right, because if it's multiplied by 0, then that makes it add nothing for all of those, and he's 100% accurate in that case. It's gonna be a difficult one to solve for, because this... Let's try some more tests here.
Now, can you put that block like in the center of a 3x3 or 4x4 and see where they're shooting at?
Oh yeah, good. I see what
See
you're
if
saying.
it changes if you change the number.
Let's only get one of these guys too, so that we don't get odds things going on by the guy being off center or something, or different distances. Okay, let's set it up for here. Oh, there's more of them, dang it! No. You die. And both of you die. You, the one that's under my control, go over there. And you die. Cool. Now for you, we're gonna make a hallway for you, so that you can't go side strafing too much. Not sure if this is a torture chamber for him or a testing chamber, but guess it doesn't matter. F3B, are you tall enough that you can walk through that? I can't, I don't believe you can. Yeah, you can. These guys spawn like every 5 minutes, I swear. The traitors?
You must be getting very lucky with them.
I mean, that accuracy is just incredible. He's always missing. I guess it's the inaccuracy thing we gave him, right? We said that you will always hit the same spot, essentially. I mean, I could special case those things and get their height a little shorter or something, but I don't like doing that.
Well, what is the height of the structure block?
The target he's shooting at?
Yeah.
1.
1. Okay, so make it 0.5. Just to see if it changes.
I get what you're saying, but let me do it this way so that I don't have to restart Minecraft. Because to do that, I have to restart Minecraft, because it's when he's registered. And that's on startup. Target entity. Okay. So if it's a target entity, instead we're going to do something else. Otherwise, for every other entity, we'll do that. For this, though, we want him to look at what, like a quarter of the height, maybe, instead of a third of the height.
And these guys should be looking at shulker boxes, right?
Huh?
And these guys attack shulker boxes as well, or not?
If we told them to.
Okay.
They won't do it automatically though. Now he's hitting it. That was rather awesome. Yeah, he's hitting it every time. Okay, so you have some about shulker boxes. Let's try it. So he won't automatically target it until I click on it to tell him to, and that shulker box teleported away. How awesome. See, he's trying to target it and he's shooting over it. Oh god. He's flying around and he's controlling his flight. And he's shooting down at the shulker too. That was kind of cool. Okay, so let's see if I can spawn one of those things inside the building, wherever that was. There it is. Okay, and put on an archery range block. It's so weird it says blue. Welcome back, Spooderman. I mean, there's not a single arrow that's not where it's supposed to be there. Let's get a bunch of them going. More testers. Attack team. Okay, all the ones that bounced are probably, it was invulnerable because it just took damage. And Eagle, if you are talking, you're on mute. That would be kind of cool, Spider-Man. But somebody would probably abuse it on multiplayer servers. Nice. Okay, CZ. We've got the block out there. It's looking good, man. It'd probably be cool if we could make like a watchtower building too. Now that we've got this concept of buildings. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful. I was thinking before, like, it would be cool if like somehow we could make it so that the player can make walls faster than just placing them block by block. And this is it. This is how you can make a wall structure. Because, like, in Age of Empires that we're talking about, like, you just tell it, I want a wall here. Like, we could make a 3x3 or a 5x5 long wall thing And it just makes the wall. That would be cool. Same with the watchtower or whatever, right? It doesn't have to have a function from the standpoint of spawning units or anything, right? It doesn't need one of my tile entities in every single thing that we make. It could be that watchtower is a strategic thing that you just quickly build, right? So that you have a watchtower there, and then you supply the troops to it. I don't know if anybody's here listening to me ramble on, but I hope so. You guys need to get rid of him. Oh wait, you're killing himself. Never mind. And that works. Can you be selected and you be selected? Oops. Can you help kill this guy down here? What do you do? Oh, you jump in the hole with him. Can these guys attack each other now? Did we just screw up the whole thing? How smart they are. You know, it needs to also special case the minions, doesn't it? Why is it so weird? Or target this instance of unit entity. Oops, wrong one. He's still shooting over his head for some reason. Let's see, does that line get called? Yep. Hey, Devil Bob. Yeah, they're just missing. Hey, thanks for the sub, man. We're down to what? We're trying for ultimate goal is 1,000 subs, but we're looking for 800 as our next milestone. And now I think we need 19. So thank you. Huh. I don't know what to think about that. Oh yeah. So that's stream avatars set up down there. What else? If quite a few actually. I think I've had about 10 people watching before, 10 or 12 or so, and there's been people running around there, just no problems with it. What it does is it's everyone that's actively talking, and if you stop talking for so long, and then it stops putting you down there.
You can also do great commands like exclamation jump and exclamation sling, and the number that you type in is like 45 to 180, because 90 straight up and down.
And what he's talking about is there's kind of a mini game in this where if we were to spawn a star, my
Battle Royale!
My computer will start going ding, 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 ding from Eagle typing that command in. No. Because you can get the stars, and that gives you an in-game currency for that little minigame.
You just had to.
I had to, of course. And that was one evil laugh from Tinkerbell in the background there. That it's just like a Dr. Evil thing.
Oh, how'd I miss that?
Okay, I think I'm encouraging the evil laugh.
Yes, you're encouraging the evil laugh of Tinkerbell.
Oh my gosh, I'm also encouraging the dings. And YouTube's not showing it for some reason. Oh, there it goes. Wow, that was delayed. All the jumps and slings. Spooderman got it.
Yep, Spoonman got it.
Okay, so a couple things. I guess this guy would be coming at them, for one, if he was on the opposing team. So that's part of it. So maybe we're testing for something that's a not valid case. Let's set up another archery range block on a different team. Oh, we can't set them on different teams, can we? No. Did not mean to do that. Okay, you gotta be careful what you're clicking on.
Oh yeah, you want to type in the chat what the command for all the commands?
Exclamation point or extension will give you the extension that lets you do pretty much everything.
Extension?
Yeah. What the heck? That wasn't a garrison block, is it? Why are they going blue?
Change your character.
Why are they blue?
Extension. Extension.
I am not on blue. Yeah, let's just spawn one of these. That'll make it red. Alright, my team is not blue, right? Team list blue. Tester's only one on blue. What about red? I am on red. Okay. So let's make this yellow. I'll kill these guys because we don't want them. They're not needed. Okay. So they're able to hit him, no problem. Because it's at a distance, first off. And holy crap, is he screwed.
And Tinkerbell's excited now because she gets to change her character.
Oh, you didn't know Tinkerbell? Wow. I'm sorry.
I didn't remember what it was. Yes, how do you change your character? It's a command.
Yeah.
What command is it?
But extension gets you an easier way of doing it than typing the command that would do it. So I don't know what that command is. This gives you a nice thing that you can see what the characters look like and stuff. This is going to take so much playtesting to get this bounced. I can just see it already.
Oh, we can quite easily play a few games and figure a lot of it out.
I think we can figure a lot of it out, but I think it's going to take a lot of games to figure it out well.
The other aspect is, are we going to make tier of the, well, I guess we need to all just start with tier 1 and play from that.
Well, initially, that's all we'll have is tier 1.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just kind of messing around now. I just need to stop. Let's actually work on something. We might have to revisit this stuff, but for now it's working okay enough. The spawning of the blocks or the structures needs to check the area that it should spawn in to see if it's flat, has blocks underneath, and no blocks in the volume that it needs to spawn it. So let's see if we can figure this code out.
Do exclamation leaderboard.
Okay, so it's going to be based off of this generic builder item. So let's create a new one. Package. Dot builder items. Okay, and let's move these two classes into there for my sanity later when there's hundreds of them or whatever. Let's refactor this to name it just builder item. Okay. Now, on this builder item, we need a way of getting the size of the template easily. So let's create one that's called get size. Public block position. Let's do vector 3. Vector 3. Get size. Okay. And we'll just take and get an instance of the template manager probably
Oh, okay.
here.
I'm beating you by about 1,000 points, Tech.
You're beating me by what? Lots of points?
By 1,000.
Only 1,000?
Yeah, only 1,000.
Yesterday I bet like 4,000 in slots.
Ah.
And lost.
I would say I would bet, but at the same time I'm ahead, so I don't think I need to.
Wait a minute, how did Tinkerbell do that?
What?
Let me show you. Oops. I put on this. So everybody's kind of walking on this bottom line, but somehow Tinkerbell's up higher.
What was the extension again, Tech?
Just exclamation point extension. It's getting context, so this is gonna need a player to do this from, right? Or we can use the item use context from this. Let's do that. Nope, can't do that. Yeah, we're just gonna hard code this. There's no easy way of doing this so that it works in all scenarios. We need to know what the size is, and we'll just plug it in here. In fact, we'll make this abstract so that every item must create this method. Okay, let me get this straight. You will not add rockets because you don't want people griefing other people's builds. What's stopping people from crashing into builds with a laser or model? So those have a use in the world, right? The crashing of the helicopter, which also isn't something you can craft in survival. Yeah, that might be able to be used for griefing, but also we do check for block break rules in other mods like protection mods.
Like, I want to say NPT, but that's not.
FTB utilities is what we're using.
Yep. And we've already tested those.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can grief is what, Tech?
Things that I won't mention on the stream.
Why is that, Tech?
I'll tell you sometime after the stream. Let's put it that way.
I already know this one.
Sorry, I didn't see who did it. For some reason, I'm not sure if I'm getting all the messages too. Like, I seen there was some characters interacting with each other, and the messages weren't coming through for some reason.
Tinkerbell was using the commands.
Oh, okay, so that's why. So it's Tinkerbell doing it then. Thanks.
Yeah. And we figured out she's actually floating. Her character floats.
Oh, that makes sense. Because he's like a mage unit.
Yep.
So, Devil Bob Gaming, the characters at the bottom of the screen can interact with each other, so you can go up and attack them and do all sorts of stuff. In fact, here, everyone's talking about it, so let's trigger it.
Yeah.
The Battle Royale. So I'm bringing this up so I can see what's going on, because it's hard for me to see on this stream thing otherwise. But it should, assuming I type it right, here in a second. Any second now. Dang it, Eagle. Did I not type it right? Why is it not going?
I don't know. It usually takes a second.
There it goes. Now it's going. Yeah, I typed it wrong first time. Oops. I accidentally did star. Crap. Yeah, you can't jump for a star. So this game, it just kind of plays out on its own. You can't control it, but there's other games where you can control.
Like basketball.
Basketball or duels and things like that. Well, duels you can't control it really. And I'm dead. And Eagle's dead, so your win didn't work.
Oh, come on!
Devil Bob's Gaming is definitely in the lead right now. Spooderman and Tinkerbell are probably neck and neck right now. I know their bars, the green part of their bars looks different, but it's just because Tinkerbell's name is longer. And it's looking like Devil Bob Gaming's going to win unless Spooderman gets some crits and Devil Bob Gaming wins. Well, that's cool. And I think that gives the currency. Yeah, 500 gold for the win in that. Congratulations. Vector 3i. 7. So that currency is what we were talking about with the leaderboards and stuff. It's just the in-game thing. Oh. He wasn't even paying attention to you on.
Yes, that's the fun part of it.
We just did a battle royale with the avatars at the bottom of the screen.
Then you have basketball on teams. What's some of the other ones?
I guess, do we want this to be a... Yeah, because Y still applies, right? So we can do... .y. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've got this defined. So then on the parent one, we can check what the dimensions are before and look to see if those are okay. So at override, or not override, public. Yeah, you have to say who you're gonna hug. You can't just hug. You're gonna hug thin air. Booting. Oh, hang on. I need to do my neck stretch for a minute. It's really tight. It's hard to do with headphones on. Oh, there.
So did you try that Jello?
I've been
Jello?
eating Jello instead of anything sweet for about a week now. I can't remember if I told you, but I went to the doctor like Thursday or Wednesday or something the last week, and he said it could be something specific. And I looked that up online, and there's a series of stretches you can do to basically your rib and your collarbone or something like that can get too tight because of your muscles around there. There's like an opening between those that some veins and nerves go through, and that is the problem area that's causing all the shoulder problems and tingling in my hand and everything. So doing these stretches that loosen up those muscles that go in that area made it all go away. Like that, like within 2 days, I was feeling like a normal human being again. Doing the stretches. So I'm happy because like I was a little depressed that in my 30s I basically feel like I'm 80, right? I thought I was having like arthritis in half my body and stuff, but it wasn't that.
Ooh, glad you're feeling better.
So am I. Thank you. Is valid. Location. Yeah, location makes sense. Okay, and we will assume. What will we assume? We need a world. Block position. And then the size, right? We can get the size, so... Do we need the directions? We need the direction. Okay, so result... Boolean result equals false. We will assume it's an invalid location. And return result. So by default, it will not be valid. And then we need to do basically the same thing that we're doing down here. With some variations. Oop. Okay, so this context here should be BP. This one we don't need at all because we already got the direction defined. This BP is defined as well. You add a plane to the mod. I'd thought about adding planes when I was adding the helicopter, but what you need to do instead is get yourself an elytra, put those on your back, or your chest, right? And then get the elytra jetpack and put that on your pants slot. Then fly with your elytra wings and hit shift while you're in the air. And that's why I decided not to add what you're talking about. It's just not needed. Because that is much better mode of transportation.
Why do you need a plane when you got a jetpack?
Yeah, you got your own personal jetpack.
You have to have an elytra on, or elytra. Then you have to add the jetpack with fuel. If you're in creative, then it should be fueled automatically.
Yep.
Then activate your elytra and start flying around and holding the... It's a different button for me. I'm trying to think what it is.
Your sneak key, whatever that is.
Sneak. Yes. And you might have to assign that.
Get size. Let me look at my messages. Nope, we're good. He just did something positive. Like he won,
Jump 30 times in a row. Also lets you on fire.
I was just assumed it was from catching the stars.
No, I believe it's through spamming so much. But you can't jump unless there's stars.
Yes, please don't jump.
Tech, don't do it. Don't do it.
He says, hoping that I'll do it.
Hoping that you won't do it, otherwise I gotta spam the chat on you.
Okay, and then we don't care about the tile entity because it shouldn't exist. So the block will not be an owned instance.
Oh yeah, the characters are from below the stone. And are you able to pick up the game on Steam now or not?
You can wishlist it on Steam, or you can back it on Kickstarter right now. They have a Kickstarter campaign that ends, geez, maybe this week or next week. It's not long.
We're friends with the guys who are making that, so
Yep.
we're trying to support them a little bit.
Yeah, if you use the extension to jump, it shouldn't spam the chat. So that's my preferred way for people to jump. But at the same time, every once in a while you have to chat anyway, so you get the gold that way. So is this block get blocked at is solid? Dot is air. No, they took that out, didn't they? Oh, cool. They did not take it out. They deprecated it. Cool. Why?
Bad. Bad. There's no stars. You can't do that.
Thanks, Eagle.
No stars, no jump.
Here, I'll send you a message.
You're just making that wall, aren't you?
There you go. Yep, see? That's why I got the jetpack, and that is my own one of the test server. That's my mode of transportation now. I love that thing. So if it is air, we need to do what? That allows it to be valid. So if it is not air in all of these spaces, we don't need this either. So it is not air. Gosh, I guess we need to return true, right? So if all of these are not air, then we will result equals false. So there's a block in the way. No way. Okay. And then we need to do one more that ignores the Y height. So we're going to first paste this so I don't have to copy it again. Then we're going to do this and this so that the Y is the last thing it checks. This means that we're only going to do this. No, wait, we had that backwards. We want to do Y first. Okay. And there we go. So we're going to go through all of the positions. Nope, got to do it in here. Guess it doesn't really matter what order they're in. We'll just code it in a way that makes sense. So if
I'm curious what the music is.
what the music is right this second,
Yeah.
it's called Wipeout by Mean Dabber. Let's see. Yeah, there it is. Techno and trance house type. Nicholas Gustavsson. Name is...
Gustavs.
Wait, that's the composer. Mean Dabber is the artist, and Wipeout is the title. It's on Epidemic Sounds. I use their service to get music that I'm able to stream with. I can't remember why I did that. But I do remember what you're talking about. We took the noses off the mining engineers. -1.
Oh, because we were trying to make them look normal. It kind of failed.
Yeah, they're not stupid like all the other testificate or villager people.
Or snooty. Because they never close out their trades.
Yeah, it's true. There, he will always let you trade whatever you want to trade. If you got the emeralds, he's got the blueprints. Imagine if I was mean-spirited and did that. So you had to trade all the other lower stuff to get the higher stuff with the cost of those things. Because some of them are like multiple blocks and stuff of emeralds. That'd be awful. No block under. Okay, so then we just put this at the very beginning of everything. In here. And we say context.world. Context.getWorld. Context.getPosition. And the direction is defined down here, so we can move that up, I guess, to there. That, and we can say if this is a valid location, then we will do all of this. Ta-da. Let's run this.
Ta-da!
And watch it not work at all.
Oh, it'll always work. It just has a bunch of bugs.
Yeah, it'll do exactly what I told it to do. It just may not be what I want it to do.
Yes.
This better work, because we only got like, what, maybe 20 minutes or so before I have to go. Give or take. Oh boy. The battle is on. I might have to just kill these guys a different way. So, kill at E type does not equal Minecraft player. Everybody's dead. Yeah, I know, but I gotta get ready for work tomorrow and everything. That actually worked. It actually spawned it. That means it thought it was valid. Which it was, but I didn't expect it to. Let's make it not valid. It doesn't spawn! That's awesome. It's like I know what I'm doing or something. It doesn't spawn! That's awesome! It's actually working the first try. So now you can't place a building inside of another building now. It won't let you. And you have to have the clearance that's defined inside the thing. Now, what we need to do is make that clearance one bigger than the actual structure. And the reason for that is I want this structure to require an extra block so somebody can't build it in, right? like we were talking about a little bit ago. They can't cheat like putting it in a corner with a mountain on one side or something. Wait, not an 8. We want 9. There we go. So now it made sure that there's an air gap between the buildings. Cool. Like we'll need to figure out, you know, and consume this item if it gets used and stuff like that, but that's should be pretty easy. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. And oh, it's in here. We want to take this item from the player's hand, basically. So did we work, basically, is what I need to know. So no, the oil doesn't do anything. It was part of that whole stuff with the wellhead. Okay, cool. So context get player dot inventory dot held main. Wait. Let's try this. Dot item. Got the hand. Okay, so we can get the hand. So context dot get item dot not get item get. Oh, do you mean the fluid? I thought you meant the block. And I wouldn't mess with that because the oil, I think, is crashy. So just to save your world from crashing. But it's not used for anything. Get player dot remove. And we can do that probably, right? So context get item and just replace it with a item stack that's empty. Item stack empty. Why are you not liking this? Oh, what's the item stack? Item, we only have it. Wait, that is an item stack. What the heck? Int. The heck does it do? Replace item in inventory. Inventory slot. Oh. So then we need to look at it a different way, which is context dot get hand dot slot. Nope. How do we get this then? Dot inventory dot get player dot inventory dot get That's an integer, but what is it used for? Set picked item stack. That might be what we want. It slot for what is something that is consumed when you use it in Minecraft? An item. Not a block item either. Bone meal. Let's look up bone meal. So Minecraft blocks client. Nope, nope. Nope. We want items. That's new. I haven't had somebody crash it for the tower crane yet. Bone meal, where are you? Bone meal item. Result type success. Apply bone meal, context item. Apply bone meal does what? It shrinks the stack. Alright, okay. Is that all there is to it? Looks like it. So the conveyors, you know how they're directional? It'll rotate them for you. So if you place it in the wrong direction for how you want it. Get item dot shrink 1. Because it needs to use 1. Okay, so now, oh my gosh, we left it running with this guy spawning like crazy. Hello.
Hello.
Maybe I need to be in survival. Game mode, survival.
You might want to check your team.
No, I'm fine. I know I'm on red. I've been on red forever, and also they're getting their teams from me. So actually, we should test that, shouldn't we? Let's first off get this. Watch this. Team. Join. Blue. All my guys are blue now.
Bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea.
No, that's fine. I'm on blue. And that should, doesn't look like it recognized the change, but...
Well, does it transfer all your guys or not?
Yeah, literally all my guys are blue now. And if I go join green, they go green. Now the blocks are supposed to do it as well, but maybe I don't have a check in there to try and get them to update themselves. It's not constantly checking to see if it's different.
Wanted me to ask you if you type it in join pink, does it go to pink?
If I were to set up a team pink, yes, but that has nothing to do with my mod. That's Minecraft. And these guys will not go to team pink because there's no team pink for them. Okay, so this is all working. Let's go back to red. Reasons. What I was testing was whether or not if we use that item, if it would deplete from our inventory, and it did. So let's get a stack of 64 of these things. Let's kill a world. Game, yeah, game mode. Survival. The only thing I know of how to do with your mod in survival is to get corn. Hey, that's how you start. I mean, it's taking them from my inventory. This is doing precisely what I want it to do. They're spaced evenly. My minions are amassing.
Not just try going the lits and try placing them.
That's what I was
Just
doing.
running around. No, like zigzagging in that.
Oh. Okay, just a sec. Let me get a bunch of these guys. I guess we're not checking to see if there's any entities in this area. We're placing this, so that could be... Oh my gosh, that would be the ultimate troll. Watch this. I'm gonna have all these guys go to one spot. Oh, Charlie, where's my leg? Now, imagine that they're the enemy's army, and you do this. Defense by building. So we'll need to check for that, right?
We might.
These guys are a bunch of bullies.
Same time, we have to figure out a decent system where you're able to outpace enemies. So when you attack, you can lose a whole bunch of troops, but you're able to do it.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow that. So outpace is like...
I'm rambling.
Okay. Do you mean like outrun them? Because I think right now we are faster than them.
No, I'm talking about numbers-wise. Because let's say if everybody starts at the exact same time, how can you outpace somebody else with numbers?
Gotcha. So when you spawn into the world, you will have absolutely nothing. You will select a team. Once you're on a team and the game started, right? Then you as a player will get a town center. That's all you'll have. Plus like the command wands and stuff like that, right? But those aren't really that important. So you'll place your town center down wherever you want it strategically. Because if that dies, game over for you, right?
Okay.
Then in the town center, you will use the GUI of the town center either by going to the block or hitting a hotkey. I'm not sure which I wanted to do. Buy other blocks, right? So you might have a starting funds that you need to start off with. Be it so much wood, stone, whatever, right? And those funds are used to buy the blocks. The things that you'll want to do is to buy, say, a mine site. That way you can go and mine more stone or more iron, gold, whatever. The town center will probably give you a small amount of continual income just for having it, so you have a baseline of currency, right? Always. And I'm doing this on purpose, letting these guys build up here. I want to see how many we can get in the world before it gets kind of laggy. Although we're 300 and it's at 42 FPS, so we might be kind of close. I need to start breaking
these. We could also combine them together to make them one unit or one entity that shows up and make it twice as powerful, and when one dies, the number goes down in the group.
That is something I've thought about. It'll be a pain to do, though. Because then they can't split them into different groups and stuff. Hey, Marco. Is that question about the mod we're working on right now? It's 114. So the town center thing, right? So it's going to have a constant income. Then you need to go start collecting your own additional income on top of that. And that's how you outpace your opponents, right? Because remember, these blocks that are spawning the minions here are going to require resources to do that. Right now they don't, so I can test real easy. But we'll probably... I haven't decided officially yet, but we're probably going to add food to this and a farm, right, as a way of getting food. And the food will be the main resource for your basic minion, right? The wood will probably be the resource that you need to have archers. The stone will be for building materials more. iron will start to allow you to, once you've unlocked the research, get armor for your troops, right? So every troop you make will need iron then. Yeah, exactly. Gold will probably be used mostly for research. Gold or emeralds, one of those two. And the other one of those two will be used for trading at the market. Because I plan on having a market so that you can, say, turn your excess iron into that resource, right? Either the gold or the emeralds. And then that resource can then be used to buy other resources. So if you had an excess of stone and wanted more wood, you could sell the stone for emeralds, then with the emeralds buy more wood. The reason I want to jump it through two things there is it makes it a little simpler because everything goes to emeralds and then emeralds is used for everything. But at the same time, those will have a currency, like a exchange rate, right? If you sell 100 stone, you're not going to get 100 emeralds out of it. You might get 90. And then when you buy wood with that 90, it might give you 80 wood. So you're having a penalty for doing this. It's more efficient to just get the resources yourself. But when you're desperate in a RTS game, you'll do things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like trading and.
It's very similar to how the Age of Empires works. They have a penalty for doing a market exchange like that. But it opens up additional game ideas, really. And then, so as you unlock the tech, oh, and that's the other thing. So the gold or the emeralds, probably gold, is going to be used to pay for research, right? And that research is to unlock armor or unlock the stables or unlock, I don't know what else. Whatever else we think of. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Like Tech 2 stuff, that type of thing. That's kind of what I have envisioned for the first, probably the first release of this, potentially. But that's a long ways away at this point. Like an actual release is a long ways away. Minimum viable product where we start playtesting it. Yeah, public release. Minimum viable product is what I'm shooting for first, which will just have probably archers, the regular soldier minions, and a town center, the buildings that spawn those two, the mine sites, the lumberyard. That might be it, right? Because those are kind of the basics of what we need to even have a battle.
Well, I slightly say after we get tier 1 figured out and play tested through, I think we probably need to release it for public, just to start getting people involved in it.
Yeah, it probably couldn't hurt. It's just, this is going to be like the machine mod probably, and it'll probably never be a completely finished thing, right? Where we'll always have more ideas that'll make it cooler and cooler over time.
Oh yeah.
Because why not? Right, so. But we're getting close to 9. If I were to start anything else, I probably wouldn't be able to finish it tonight. So, what do we do?
Make tower or wall.
True. This build world that I'm on right now, you're welcome to join as well if you have ideas of how things should be. But just keep in mind that we kind of need to follow some rules with the buildings. They need to have a square footprint. They need to have their exit, if it's something like this, right, facing to the south. So when you're looking at the door, you're facing north. Because the rotation for all these, I want to keep it the same. I don't want to have to hard code that this one needs rotated 90 degrees clockwise and that one needs to be 270, right? What else? We're gonna have, did I tell you that we're gonna have different stages of destruction on these? If I didn't, we are. So like this is the fully built version of it, and you can see that's denoted by this 2 here. The one that will have the 1 in this last spot will be where it's halfway damaged, and then the 0 will be the rubble that remains afterwards, and that tile entity block will take the rubble and leave it set around for so long, and then eventually delete it. Right? So there's a penalty for losing your building, that you can't just go in and just plop another one down until the rubble's kind of cleared out of your way, because remember, they need perfectly level ground with no holes in it. So the rubble will prevent you from building on top of it.
Well, can you repair buildings from ground zero?
No.
I think the answer.
You cut out.
I think the answer should be yes, but it should be like the same cost as the beginning building of it and whatever.
So what's your thought? Why we should be able to repair from that? From the rubble?
So if you and I are destroying each other, and let's say I take out one of your
barracks, let's say.
woodcutters huts.
Okay.
So instead of moving your woodcutter hut or moving it somewhere else, you can place it again in the same place.
You can, with what we're talking about. It's just you have to wait.
Yeah. Okay. You're saying a penalty on waiting wise.
Yes. So the rubble will prevent you from placing it in the exact same spot, but the rubble will despawn over, I don't know, maybe it's 30 seconds, maybe it's a minute, maybe it's 5. I don't know what that time is, but whatever that time is, it will despawn.
Depending on the tier of the...
Yeah, depending on the block, probably. Like if it's your town center, we'll probably have a big penalty for it so that the enemy can do more stuff without you having a town center. Assuming... So there's two different thoughts I have around what... Use your number pad, your 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3 keys. There's different ideas I have around what should end it. Right now we're going to say town center destruction makes you out.
Yeah.
But there's also the thought I had of the town center is where you respawn at if you die. So it's not player death, it's not town center destruction, it's both. When your town center's not there, you have no place to respawn, then you're out.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably going to be like a config type thing, because both of those could be fun game modes to do. Town center destruction, you know, it's by the looks of what CZ's got here for the blocks of the targets, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to do. Because you're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these blocks. Let's say they each had 100 health. That's 800 health for this thing. And I'm just throwing out numbers. I don't know what it's actually going to be. So you're going to need a sizable army to kill it.
Well, I guess another way to look at the strategy on it is trying to figure out how to phrase this. So do we make it where the town square has a kind of an air quote shield over it until a certain amount of buildings is damaged? It's like you can still destroy the town hall.
Yeah, I get what you're going for. It's kind of like Death Cube's thing, right?
Or you can go out and, let's say, damage 70% of all the buildings and have an easier time of destroying the town hall.
I see what you're saying.
So it's a strategy, do I attack just the town hall or the entire town, then go after the town hall?
Technical wise, it'd be harder to do what you're saying than just attacking this town hall. Always has the same amount of health regardless of what other things are in the world, because if it's a bigger map, maybe everything isn't chunk loaded, right? So if it's not loaded, then the game wouldn't know how much health it has.
True.
So that's where I'm going to stick with the town center always has its own amount of health and doesn't, or is
a shielded health
shielded.
on top
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. So how would it know to fall or drop the shield is what I'm getting at. but maybe there's something where the town hall gets more health when you're at tech 2. I could probably do something like that, because what tech levels you're at will have to be not tied to a block or a location in the world, but they'll have to be tied to just your team overall.
Well, that's, yeah. But I'm sitting there thinking of different ways that you can kill each other.
Yeah. Or maybe this is something that could be done. Every time your player dies, your town health loses some health or something like that, right? That way it forces you to not be so brazen, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, the excavator's kind of wacky right now. Again, I don't think that's something you can create in survival. It's just as creative only.
Unless we took the rest.
Did we take the recipe out? I don't remember. Maybe it's still in there.
I don't know.
I think you're right. I think it's still in there. It shouldn't be. I'm very strongly opposed to it being a thing, because it's just everybody goes in and then they're like, "How do I control it?" That's their first question.
Well,
I know it's different. That's why,
very
right?
Different.
But it has to be different for it to be semi-realistic as far as how it should move. But then that's too complex for a video game, really, because you don't have a control scheme like you do the real machine. Like, you don't have 2 joysticks in your hand, right, to do it or whatever, and foot pedals and all this crap. Okay, I guess I'm just kind of rambling on, not actually coding, so maybe we should end the stream. I don't know. Subscribe now, everybody. And we will see you
bye.
next time. Bye.
Bye.